All right, Dara, Sarah, I see ya. Ardizzy, I see ya. What about the rest of you? All right, Wes. Yep, AJ, Jason. All right, so this is where we're going to be focusing. So if you look up there, you can see I posted several charts. So we're going to work our way down this list, and we're going to talk about these pairs, and we're going to break down the price action. We're going to talk about the concepts or the different things that we see on this chart, right? So let's start with that first chart. So if you click it, it'll expand the image for you. And it says, Euro CHF, bias is bearish, 4-hour bearish, order block, higher time frame level, and on the 1 hour, we got a fair value gap in there. I'd like to see this thing take out high of day first, which we're going to go over that in a second, because right away, I know some of you are thinking, why do you want to see it take out high of day? You got that fair value gap right there, right? You got your higher time frame level right there, right? So why do you want to see it take out high of day? And I said next key liquidity pool, then we could see it extend lower. All right, so that next key liquidity pool that I was referring to was high of day. So I'm going to go to my trading view chart real quick. Let's pull it up. All right, 1 second. So daily chart, Euro CHF. You can see on this daily time frame, let me clear this off real quick and let's start from scratch. We're operating within a what right now? We're operating within a bearish market structure right now, okay? You can see on that push lower on the daily chart, so I want you to follow along with me on your daily chart. You see on the date of March 13th, 2023, that was the end of that leg lower where we had that shift in market structure. Then what did price do? You get a nice retracement back up into a premium marketplace. Where is a premium? What do I mean when I say that? What do I mean when I say I want a premium? Well, we went above 50% equilibrium on that price range, right? So if we take the high from March the 2nd from 2023 to the absolute low, which was from March 15th, 2023, and we measure that price range right there, we can see price traded above 50% equilibrium, right? So price traded up into a premium marketplace within that price range. And now what is price doing? It's topping out. It's starting to roll over. It's starting to show weakness. What do I mean when I say that? Well, we have a swing high level put in, right? See how we got our highest high in the middle on March the 23rd, and then a lower high on the March 22nd, and then a lower high on March 24th. Now we have a swing high level put in. What does that mean? That means that we are operating within a bearish market structure on the daily chart. Higher time frame trend is bearish, right? So now let's go to a 4-hour. On the 4-hour chart, we have a higher time frame level here. Okay, we have that. Now I'm not a huge fan of it really, because it's a little bit overextended to the downside here. I think it's going to want to pull up a little bit higher, but short term it may give an opportunity, but it's without a doubt it's not the best looking setup. So why did I say that I want to see this thing take out high of day? Because I know that's going to be the main point that a lot of you are confused on. Well, what do I tell you guys all the time? What do I say on Twitter? Wait for liquidity or you'll be the liquidity. And where was that last key liquidity grab? Well, if you look at midnight open, if you look at midnight New York, see how price just flushed lower like that? Did that really take any major liquidity pull? On that flush right there, did it really take any buy side? Did it take any key buy side liquidity pull? No, right? It just flushed lower. Okay. Then that key liquidity grab, if you take a look at March the 26th, so yesterday on Sunday, see that push up right there? See that large push up into that fair value gap imbalance? That was where we had that liquidity grab, okay? We took New York, or we took Friday's New York sessions highs. See that? We took those sessions highs. We filled in a portion, not all of it, but we filled in a portion of that fair value gap. and then we get that push lower. That was where that key liquidity grab happened. This morning during London, we had a displacement lower. We had a fair value gap created, as I posted in chat, but there was really no key liquidity grab. It's always best if you get that key liquidity grab from a previous session. Okay, that's why I said I think this thing's going to want to take out high day here, and it's looking like that's probably what's going to happen. Once that occurs, then you could look for a lower time frame shift to the downside. But still, I gotta say, it's not the best looking play, really. Okay, it's not the best. There's better looking plays out there, but that's kind of my thought process on this. I would like to see a takeout high of day, take out those buy stops, and then possibly we could see something later. Okay. So let's see. Right below that, we got another chart. Euro NCD. So right below the one I just went over, again, we're in the voice channel chat. Euro NCD. I have a chart of that. Right below that one, I said, Euro NCD. Bias is bullish. Pulled back into a daily bullish fair value gap. And now we're popping higher. This is the 1 hour chart here, and there are our levels of support. So if you look at that chart, you'll see there's kind of a shaded purple area at the bottom of that chart. That was that daily fair value gap that we had a reaction off of. So I'm going to pull up that real quick here. So you can see on Friday for Euro NCD, we tapped into that daily bullish fair value gap. And then what did price do? Boom, it ramped up higher, right? And this morning, did we have a key liquidity grab on this morning? Can anybody tell me if we did or not? I want you guys to answer this, and then I'll tell you what we ended up doing. So did we have a key liquidity grab this morning on Euro NCD? Can anybody tell me? Yep, awesome work. We swept Asian lows. Yep, good job, West, as well. So we swept Asian lows. That is a key liquidity pull. The lows of each session, you need to be noting those levels. They're very important levels. So we took that key liquidity. Okay, and then what happened after taking that liquidity? Boom, you get a nice explosive move to the upside. Really strong, a lot of conviction, high probability market structure shift. Why do I say high probability market structure shift? One for the notes. Fair value gap created, strong close above that high. Fair value gap created, strong close above that high, and it took previous session liquidity. High probability market structure shift. Okay, and we also have that higher time frame fair value gap that we are having that bounce off of, right? So these are 1 hour levels of, oh, and also these are your levels of support. That AUD high, so Sunday's highs, you see Sunday's highs, that was that AUD high. It's inside of that fair value gap imbalance. Where we had that shift in market structure, that strong move to the upside, that high right there, Sunday's highs, it's inside of that imbalance now. If you recall, if you've watched it, if you watched my series on support and resistance, you'll know that that is a high probability level of support. That AUD high inside of an imbalance. Many times they are very, very sensitive price points, and they make for very good dip buying opportunities once price retraces back down into those levels. So that is a point of interest. And then right below, we have another AUD high inside that level. So yeah, that is that's a nice, very nice level of support right there, worth keeping an eye on. So that was Euro NCD. And next we have, let's go to our next chart. Wait, what did I say here? Oh, so that was for the same pair. Once this candle closes, you'll have that fair value gap. And I said those levels are inside the fair value gap. What do I teach guys? When you have that criteria, those levels become very sensitive. So yeah, we already went over all that. So what's next? AUD JPY. I want you to pull up AUD JPY. This one isn't ready quite yet. So I'm going to go over this briefly. We can see daily chart clearly. The market structure on this AUD JPY is bearish. It's consistently trending lower, right? So you can see we have that level I noted on that is that AUD low. Again, you need to be looking in the voice channel chat where I posted that AUD JPY chart. Okay, you see that? I said AUD JPY. not ready quite yet, but bias is bearish, and there is a higher time frame POI. POI stands for point of interest. Okay, it's a level that you want to keep an eye on for a reaction off of. AUD low inside a fair value gap. Okay, my most common places that I like to see these reactions off of are, so I like order blocks, but also whenever we have an AUD low like that inside of a fair value gap, those are really nice levels as well, as we've went over several times before. Okay, when we have an AUD low like that inside of a fair value gap, sensitive price point, what I want to see is, I want to see price pop up into that level, get a reaction off that level, a lower time frame reaction, a lower time frame shift in market structure, and then we could look for some lower objectives, right? And I said, Mike, what is, oh, we already went over that. Mike, what is there? What is there is, oh no, that was a typo on my end. So what I was saying was, when I said, Mike, what is there is not reaction. So basically what I was saying is, I was kind of talking in the third person. What if there isn't a reaction, Mike? What do we do if there's not a reaction? Well, then you have no trade. It's that simple. You got to listen to price. If price tells you that it's not respecting that area as a level of resistance, simple. You don't force it. You don't force the trade. You just don't take a trade. You sit on the sidelines. Okay. There's more setups. There's setups every week, right? So you don't got to force something that's not there. Listen to price. Listen to what it's telling you. Let's see what we got here. AUD CHF. Let's pull up that real quick. So AUD, again, AUD JPY, it's not ready quite yet, but it's a level you want to keep an eye on. So let's go to the next one. If you look right below that, I have AUD CHF, AUD CHF. I said bias is bearish, 4-hour bearish order block, which is your POI, point of interest. Remember, POI stands for point of interest. It's a level of interest that we want to keep our eyes on for a reaction off of. Okay, point of interest. And then 1 hour fair value gap confirmation. That's what FVG stands for, fair value gap. Okay, so all right, let's pull up on the trading view now. AUD CHF. So bias is clearly bearish. Daily market structure clearly bearish, and we have a 4-hour point of interest. See that? See that bearish order block on the 4-hour chart that I have posted in the chat? See that level? I have it marked with a horizontal blue line. And then on the right of it, you have the 1 hour where we have our fair value gap displacement through that level. That 4-hour bearish order block inside of that 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Okay, that's key. So we have that fair value gap right there. And let's see, did we take a key liquidity pull prior? Let's see. Yep, we sure did. So you see how price took Sunday's highs. What do we call that? So that move this morning, again, we're on AUD CHF. That move this morning right after midnight. See that little ramp up right there? What do we call that? What do we call that little move up right there that took Sunday's highs? Can anybody tell me, what do we call that? Exactly. That's our Judas swing. So a Judas swing, for any of you that don't know, is, or it's a concept created by ICT in a way to identify the manipulation that occurs in the marketplace, right? So we have a Judas swing. That sole intention of that Judas swing was to take out that liquidity, okay? Because what's resting above highs? Buy stops, buy side liquidity. We want to take out that liquidity, right? And also on the other end of the spectrum, who else is entering this trade? Breakout buyers, right? Breakout buyers that say, oh, look, this thing's curling up. Oh, it's going to break out. It's going to go crazy. It's going to break out. What happens? Flush to the downside, right? So you kind of kill two birds with one stone there. You take out the buy side, you get in breakout buyers, and then boom, you take out their sell stops. So that's what you call a Judas swing. And the most common times for Judas swings are, it's going to be like right after midnight or during London session and 9:30 equity open. So that we had our Judas swing, we had our displacement, and now we have our key level in there. So what do I want? I want to see price trade up higher first, okay? I don't want it down here. I don't want it in a discount marketplace for a short. We want it to retrace back up within a premium. We want it to rebalance that price action. We want it to test those key levels of support. Then we could have something very, very interesting. That's a setup right there, okay? Now, it is worth noting, it is Monday, so I'm gonna hold off since it's Monday. Mondays just don't treat me too well. But that is a setup right there. That is a setup, a clean looking setup. All right, let's see. All right, let's see where we are now. All right, so GBP AUD. Right below that chart, we're gonna go over GBP AUD now. So what did I say? Again, all of these for anybody that's just now popping into the voice chat. We are in the voice chat text channel. If you hover your mouse above the voice chat, you'll see a chat bubble. Click that chat bubble. I posted all my charts from this morning in here to just make it easier to navigate. So GBP AUD, I said bias is bullish. 4-hour bullish order block. That's what OB stands for, order block. As well as 1 hour fair value gap confirmation, 1 hour order block. Okay, so that's GBP AUD. Let's go back to the charts and let's break it down. The GBP AUD, I mean, daily chart, clearly bullish. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that this thing's bullish. It's consistently taking out highs, consistently grinding up higher here. Very, very strong trend to the upside on that daily chart on GBP AUD. I think we can all agree on that. Now, 4-hour chart, we have a point of interest. We have that 4-hour bullish order block right there, okay, that I have noted in chat, if you look at chat. And we actually have a 4-hour bullish fair value gap as well now that this candle is closed on the 4-hour chart. So a few levels though. Again, we had a key liquidity grab this morning, which is nice. So again, we had a Judas swing. On GBP AUD this morning, we had a Judas swing. You see right after midnight, see how we had that leg lower right there? We had a lower high put in at 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern time this morning on GBP AUD. Then we had a move lower. See how it snatched that liquidity? It snatched those lows. And then what happened right after doing that? Right after having that Judas swing, you get a nice move to the upside, right? Boom, displacement to the upside. Really strong fair value gap confirmation. Strong high probability shift in market structure. Okay. Right now, do we want to buy it right here though? Me personally, no, I don't. Because it's in a premium. It's in a premium marketplace. Premium means expensive. We wanted to retrace back below 50% equilibrium of that price range. Okay, so from the low of that Judas swing this morning to the high, you're going to measure that price range, find 50%. You want to see it trade down into a discount before we consider buying anything. We want to see it test our key levels of support. Those key levels of support being what? Our bullish order blocks. We have our bullish order blocks in there. We have our fair value gap in there as a draw on liquidity. That is your area that would be a good buy setup. If you were to buy it, where would your stop be? Well, a good place for a stop would be underneath low of day. I mean, really great stop out point. Not only is that the low of the fair value gap, but it's also the low of that key liquidity grab. And when you have both of those, one for the notes, when you have both of those, that is a extremely high probability, or it's an extremely good place to keep your stop. Okay, whenever you have the fair value gap and you also have that key liquidity grab meaning it's grabbing previous session liquidity, very nice place to keep a stop. And then we combine the fact that the overall trend, higher time frame trend, is bullish. We have levels of support in here, discount marketplace, key institutional price level being 0.00. That's a lot. That's quite a lot in that area. So that's a nice, very nice place for a dip buy play on GBP AUD. Alrighty. So Euro USD. I know we got a lot of Euro USD traders in here. So because it's in Forex, for those of you that don't trade Forex, it's the most volatile pair. It's the most actively traded pair in all of Forex, Euro USD. So as I stated, if you look at the chat, you see I said Euro USD bouncing off that daily bullish order block. You see that? See that really big, strong, or that really big down close candle right there? And then we had that move up higher. Price did what? It traded down into that bullish order block, right? And see how we had a little bounce off that bullish order block? This is a level of support. So you might be thinking, okay, well, we're going up now then, right? This is a level of support, Mike, so we should be going up, right? Well, I said, but this will likely want to dig deeper first, meaning will likely want to draw down into that bullish fair value gap. So no doubt it is a level of support. No doubt the structure is bullish, but I think it's going to want to trace a little bit more here first because we have a draw on liquidity, right? We have that draw on liquidity, that daily bullish fair value gap right there. Okay, and price is topping out on the daily chart. As you can see, we have our swing high level put in. That's what I mean when I say it's topping out. So it's bullish overall, but I think in the short term, it's going to want to trace a bit more first. So you could look for shorting opportunities down into that fair value gap, but I would be very, very careful holding below that. Okay, because you are fighting the trend, and that's a point of interest. That's a level that we want to watch for a possible reversal off of to the upside. So that's Euro USD. But short term, I think you could get some nice shorts. Alrighty, AUD USD, I said not really my setup at the moment, but just posting for your guys' studies. Recently had a daily shift and pushing up into the 1 hour bearish order block. That's what I have noted with a horizontal blue line on AUD USD. If you take a look at the chat, boom, we had that displacement this morning, popped up into that order block. I said looking weak, will likely attack these lows here soon. Let's see what it's doing now because I'm not sure. Let's see. Let me go to 1 hour. Yep, looking weak. As I said, it's starting to roll over here still. So it came up this morning. Dude, it had the same thing. It had a Judas swing. It had a Judas swing this morning, right after New York. See how it grabbed those highs right there? And then that's where you had your shift. That's where you had that big shift. You had your 1 hour bearish order block. Price did what? It came up and tested that order block and even gave you a chance during New York kill zone. It popped back up into that bearish order block, and now it's starting to trade lower here, and likely it's going to attack those lows here soon. What lows am I referring to? I'm referring to Friday's lows. Friday's lows is likely going to get taken here pretty soon on AUD USD. Okay, so definitely still bearish on that thing. And let's see what else we got, since we've got about 5 minutes to equity bell. All right, I've just about got through these forex. All right, so USD JPY. USD JPY. That's the next one. Again, in the voice channel chat, in the text chat, you can see I posted that USD JPY. What did I say? I said USD JPY, still playing around with that weekly order block. Daily market structure bearish though. That's what EMS stands for, market structure. 1 hour chart here, we have a 1 hour bullish order block, fair value gap confirmation, and we are drawing up towards an upper bearish fair value gap at the moment. All right. Why is that important to know? Well, we're actually tapping up into it now. At this point, we are tapping up into that imbalance. But why did I even say that? Why was that worth noting that we have that upper fair value gap? Well, because that's a draw on liquidity. That portion of price action, that large portion of price action with that purple shaded area right there, see beforehand, you see how beforehand how it was not tapping up into that? Does price like to leave an area like that? No, it doesn't like to do that because it was not efficiently delivered. It is an imbalance. Price wants to rebalance that portion of price action. Okay, it doesn't like to leave it like that. And then when we combine it with the fact that the lower time frame market structure is bullish, meaning the 1 hour chart, you see how the 1 hour chart is just consistently grinding up? So it's consistently putting in lower highs. It's consistently taking out buy side. That's very bullish. In the short term, it is, right? And the weekly chart, as I stated, we'd have a higher time frame level. It's just that the daily market structure is still bearish. But yeah, that was my thought process on this morning. We still haven't tested that bullish order block yet, or that 1 hour bullish fair value gap, which that's likely to go next. That's probably what we're going to draw down in here into pretty soon here. But yeah, that was USD JPY. Okie dokie. Let's see. All right, let's go to ES now. Let's go to futures real quick. So I posted a futures chart. That's the very last one in the voice channel chat that you see posted there. It looks a little bit different because that's from Thinkorswim. That's from my Thinkorswim chart. All right, so let's go to that real quick. And let's talk about that. What do we got cooking over here on futures? All right, 1 second. So daily market structure, currently bullish. See how we're consistently grinding up right now on the daily chart. We're putting in higher lows. So we're bullish on the daily. 4 hour on Friday we had a high probability shift in market structure on Friday. Where was that at? See that fair value gap on the 4-hour chart on ES that was created on Friday? See that 4-hour imbalance? Boom, that's a nice big explosive move to the upside. It cracked that AUD high. Strong close above the level. Fair value gap created. That is the definition. Oh, and also it took liquidity. That is the definition of a high probability market structure shift. And then what did price do this morning? See at that 4-hour 1 o'clock AM candle this morning. See how it came down into that imbalance and tested that level literally to the penny and then bounced up. That's why it found support right there. That AUD high inside of the imbalance, inside of that 4-hour imbalance. Like I told you guys, like a quadrillion, million, billion times, whenever you have an AUD high like that inside of an imbalance, very, very sensitive price point. And that's why price bounced. That's why it came up and it took out these buy stops here now. Okay. What do I like now? Well, for a buy, me personally, I would hold off for that bullish order block. So I would like for it to retrace a little bit deeper within this price range. Okay. Rebalance that price action a little, rebalance that price action all the way, test that bullish order block, and then wait for a lower time frame reaction. That would be the highest probability play. Okay. I'm not saying you can catch short plays here pretty soon on a retracement down within that range. You could, but that higher time frame level it's higher probability, right? That's what I would personally wait for on ES. Okay, again, that chart is posted in chat. That lower level. Okay. Well, I have 2 charts posted there in chat. Yep, this is strictly through voice. So I do this because I want you guys to go into your own charts. Okay. I want you to go into your own chart and follow along with me and have that, because I think that is a way more effective way of doing this. You can go back and watch the live recording later. I post it on YouTube every single time that I do this, but I want you to look at your own chart, study your own price action. Okay. Be reliant on your own analysis. Sure, it's my analysis really that I'm posting in there, but I want you to do it on your own charts. Okay. I think it's a better learning process that way. All right, there's the equity bell. I don't believe we had much with small caps this morning. So with equities, small cap tickers, for those of you that don't know, most of you that follow me, I think you follow me for like Forex and futures, but I do trade small caps as well. I'm not nearly as heavy over there because the strategy just doesn't allow me to do so, but we'll see. I don't think we got anything. Oh yeah, yeah, $16 on FRC. 16 bucks on FRC is a whole number support, and then we sweep that liquidity. We tested VWAP. So we'll see what that does with that. That's a pretty nice level there at 16. So FRC, I think this could get a nice pop here pretty soon. FRC. Again, I'm over on equities right now because we just have an equity bell. So CL FRC just sweep those lows. It tested VWAP. It tested that old high on the intraday chart. Yeah, this thing looking really bullish at the moment. Boom, there's new high day on FRC. Likely going to tag these highs here pretty soon. FRC likely going to tag 1684 here pretty soon, which is pre-market highs. That's what I see happening here on FRC. So let's see what this does. I mean, because at the moment it's showing no weakness. This is 100% bullish, really strong trend. So listen to price, listen to price and what it's telling you. Let's see, BXRX, not a fan of that. Let's see, let me go to the chat. Let's see what y'all got y'all's eyes on. He said NFRC off 16. Hey, nice trade. Gave you that high day break. Well, now it's flushing. Now it's flushing hard. Sheesh, look at that. Coming down into the 1550 $half support. So when I say 1550 $half support, when we're dealing with equities, you have your chart levels, as most of us know, but you also have psychological levels of support in equities. So your strongest psychological levels of support in equities is your whole number levels. So like, for example, here on FRC, we have 16, which is whole number resistance. And then we have 15 whole number support. 16 was whole number support beforehand, but now we're cracking that level. So your whole number levels are your strongest psychological levels. You also have the 50 cent level, which is the $half psychological level, which we're bouncing off of at the moment on FRC. That 50 cent level is a psychological level of support. Okay. And then every 25 cents is natural support and resistance. That's when we're dealing with equities. In Forex, we have what we would call institutional price levels. So as Forex, for example, we have the 0, the 20, the 50, and the 80. Those are institutional price levels. Okay. Those are where you'll find most of your major market reversal points. In the times where you don't have the reversal off of those specific levels, it's usually a stop run. Okay, that's one for the notes. If it isn't a reversal off of those key institutional price levels, more times than not, it's a stop run. It's a little fake out. So those are the levels that you want to see price find support off of. Also, as I posted in the announcements channel, for any of you guys that want to participate, I did a prop firm giveaway the other day with Bespoke Funding. We gave away 3 accounts for that. And I'm doing another giveaway, as I posted this morning on Twitter, this time with Funded Next. Funded Next. Okay. We're giving away 3 $50,000 accounts, prop firm accounts, or challenges. Okay. They're prop firm challenges, $50,000 accounts. Okay. So any of you guys that missed that, go to the What's New channel and announcements. You'll see the tweet that's pinned there or posted there. If you want to participate, then you can do so and get a chance to win an account. All right. So any charts you guys want me to look at? Because small caps, equity small caps, I'm not really impressed with anything over there. It looks pretty dry. And I went over all my Forex plays on the watch list this morning in my analysis on those plays. So at the moment, what's the best setup over on Forex? Here, one second. Oops, I cleared off my charts. Here, one second. Let me go see what we got. At the moment, I like Euro NCD. I do like Euro NCD off those levels of support. GBP AUD is nice as well. My least favorite, so AUD JPY, it hasn't set up yet, as I said. We have our higher time frame level, but that one needs more time. Euro CHF, I'm not a huge fan of Euro CHF. I would want to see it take out high of day first anyway, but it's getting a little bit later in the morning. I don't think that's going to give anything today. So yeah, Euro NCD and GBP AUD look pretty nice. CHF JPY. So I'll probably be on to about 10 o'clock. Okay. If you guys got questions. It'll probably be about 10 o'clock. I'll be on about that long. And then I think some other individuals are going to be in here talking about futures, I believe. And then I'll enable that for you guys so you guys can speak. All right, CHF JPY. Let's go take a peek at it. So you CHF JPY, let's see. So just at first glance, we had that move up right there. See how it broke that swing high inside of the fair value gap? And so on March the 22nd, 2023, see how we broke that swing high level? It was a very shallow break. Very, very shallow. So I can't consider that a high probability shift in market structure. Because for a high probability shift in market structure, it would need what? Can anybody tell me? What's 2 things we need for a high probability shift in market structure? 2 things I'm looking for. Can you guys tell me? Yep, we definitely need that fair value gap. Good job, Mr. C. What else? I've already said it once this stream. Yep, that too. You do need that. It is that liquidity grab prior. But also, I'm looking for one more thing. Yep, true. But what I'm looking for is a strong close. So, like a strong close. So, in this case, this was a shift to the upside. See how it popped up into that swing high level? But it was really shallow, like I said. Okay. It didn't have the fair value gap, but also it was a very shallow run on that level. Okay. high probability market structure shift, you'll have a really strong, convincing close above that level. So it'll close above the level. That's what I want to see as well. It had that shift and then it pulled back and now it's starting to put in a swing low level, which is bullish. It is bullish, but it's not the most impressive. Okay, now we do have that fair value gap above head where it's tapped into it. It tapped up into it on that move on the 22nd, but it hasn't completely rebalanced that price action yet. So it's not the best. I want to make that clear because it's one of those plays where you kind of scratch your head on it. You're on the fence on it. That means it's not the best looking play, but overall, I'm bullish on it right now based on what price is telling me, based on the signatures that it's displaying. It's bullish at the moment. Okay, now let's go to the 4-hour chart on CHF JPY. Do we got anything interesting on the 4-hour chart? What do you guys think I already have my eyes on that 4-hour chart for CHF JPY? I want you to post a picture in the chat. What do you think I'm on as a level of support? I want you guys to post a picture in the voice channel chat for me because we have a higher time frame point of interest on that 4-hour chart. Think about what I've taught you. Think about what I've taught you in my videos as what a level of support is. I want you to post it for me. Yep, Aben, you want it in your entries want it in the kill zone as well. So we all have different time zones, but for me, I like 7 to 11. The ICT New York kill zone 7 to 10, but I personally stretch it to 11. And another good time zone or a kill zone to trade in is 2 to 5. So 2 to 5 a.m. Eastern time is London kill zone. You'll get good setups within that period as well. Those are the 2 times that it's best to focus on. Okay. Again, it's very important and very important to focus on very specific periods of times. And that's where those kill zones come into play. Those are the highest probability times to trade. Why? But why are they high probability? Simply because that's where the vast majority of the volume is traded. So that's where you want to focus. You want to focus on the high volume period of times, right? Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Got 2 charts I see in chat. Yep, excellent work. Excellent work, Siva and Aben. Excellent. Yep, you got it on the money. So you can see what Silva and Aben posted in chat. You had an AUD high right there inside of the fair value gap. Okay, I know I sound like a broken record, but you have that AUD high right there instead of the fair value gap. That is a level of support. Because whenever we have that criteria, whenever we have the fair value gap with a high inside of it, it's a very sensitive price point more times than not. More times than not, you'll get a reaction off of that level. Okay, and then what do we do next? Once price trades down into that level, what do we do next? What's next on the list? Once price trades lower, what do we do next? And for anybody that's lost, you need to have open the voice channel chat. Again, the voice channel chat. If you hover over the voice channel, you'll see a little chat box and you'll push open chat. This is where we're having our conversations. We're having our charts posted. And again, I'll have the full recording posted later on my YouTube, so you guys can go back and watch it later as well. Okay, so he said, look at lower time frame. Siva said, Cop said, find the range on lower time frame. Wait for market structure shift in lower time frame. 50-minute time frame for, yep. So y'all got it on the money. You want to go to that lower time frame. Now you could play that structure on the 4-hour if you want. Okay, I'm not saying you can't do that. You could play that 4-hour market structure and you could grab it as a buy play once it came down into that level. You could do that, but you got to keep in mind if you're doing that, it widens your risk more. Okay, that's why we utilize that lower time frame. It's safer to have more confirmation, but also it minimizes your risk, so you can keep your losses, or you can keep your losses smaller, and then you can maximize your wins to the best of your ability by utilizing that smaller time frame. You could play the 4-hour, but what I would want to do personally is I would utilize smaller time frames like the 1 hour chart, the 15-minute chart, and look for a lower time frame shift in market structure. Me personally, I don't go lower than a 15-minute. I'm not saying you got to do that. Experiment around and find out what works for you. But I find it much cleaner and much easier to read when I don't go below a 15-minute. It's just so much cleaner. Okay, and you'll get caught in way less fake outs, or that's just my experience. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't go lower than a 15-minute, and then we would wait to see for a reaction off of that level. Okay, is it going to do it today during New York? Yeah, not likely. Okay, almost certainly not going to do it today during New York, but within the next coming days, it's something that you want to keep an eye on. Very possibly, you could catch something there. So good eye, whoever posted that, I forgot. But yeah, that's something worth keeping an eye on. Mike, do you set alerts on higher time frame levels? Yep, I set alerts. So you can set alerts on higher time frame levels or like at key points where a market structure shift would occur. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend doing so because at least with the way that I trade Forex, there's really no reason to be watching the charts all the time. You can, but I'm not a fan of it. The more you watch those charts, the more your mind can try to play games on you, play tricks on you. So set your analysis, set your alerts, set your orders, and then go back test, go review previous trades. That's my advice. So you mark this on ES. Oh, yep, it was a nice level of support. Really nice level of support. But don't beat yourself up over it. There's always other opportunities. Okay. You have that level, but you also have another level a little bit farther down, which we talked about earlier. But I mean, it respected it to the penny. I mean, literally, basically to the penny. Just perfect bounce off that level. You got anything else you want me to look at here? If not, I'll hand it over to the Forex traders, or not the futures traders. Trade DB, are you in chat? Because I'm just now seeing your question again. You need to make sure you are posting your questions in the voice channel chat. That's where I've been keeping my focus. I don't know if he's in here anymore. Let's see. I don't think so. Mike, how many pairs do you keep under monitor? I look at everything except the exotics. I know for some people, I mean, they think that's way too much, but that's what works for me. Okay, I look at everything except the exotics because you got to think, I'm looking for very specific criteria, and I'm looking for several things to be in conjunction. Okay, I'm looking for that higher time frame to be in my favor. All right, so a higher time frame trend, higher time frame market structure. I'm looking for a higher time frame level, preferably. I'm looking for that lower time frame confirmation. So once we get down to it, it's very easy for me to scan through those pairs, okay? Because I'm looking for such specific things, okay? I know a lot of people, they recommend, look for one pair, focus on one pair. I'm not saying that's bad advice. That's good advice for some people and their strategies, okay? And I get the thought process behind it, okay? Their thought process behind like looking for one pair, for example, is like you get to know that one pair intimately. You get to know how it moves in particular. And I know some of you that are listening to this right now, that may be what you do. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, but that's not how I trade. That's not the best way for my strategy in particular. What do? You have like a notepad or a paper where you write which pairs are hot, aka higher time frame. So on TradingView, you have a option where you could separate. Here, one second. Let me go over to that. So on TradingView, you have a watch list section, right? I have something called like section 1, right? I have section 1 where I have all the pairs are posted in, okay? And then I'll go through those pairs and I will find my setups, my specific setups. And then once I find a setup on the first watch list, I will move those setups down to another watch list for specific setups. So here, I'll make a whenever you go back and watch the live recording later, it'll make more sense because you'll see what I'm talking about here. But I have several sections on my watch list, if that makes sense. So I don't have like a notepad. I have it on TradingView. It's very easy because I have sections that yes, Siva, that's on the list for a video. I got a video coming on. That's gonna be one of the probably this weekend. So this coming up weekend is when I plan on making that video when I'm back testing. Yep, exactly. So it's like I have my original list with all the pairs on that original list, and then I go through the pair, or I go through that list every morning, and I find my setup, and then I move those setups to another list. Okay, so it's very easy to just, you know, scroll through them. Yeah, cops, something like that, what you got there. Mine looks a little bit different. Mine has like sections, but I think you just renamed it. So like you'll have different sections where you can put them. So it's much more organized. Also, if you guys got any other video ideas, I have back testing. All right, I have that coming up this weekend, the back testing video. But if there's any other like topics that you guys want me to talk about, feel free to type that in chat as well. And I'll add it to the list for future videos to make. So I like to try to get everything at my point of interest, Siva. So like the point of interest that I have posted in chat, I like to try to get everything in that area. Sometimes it'll move and I'll have to like, I may not get it on like the first try, meaning like the first push up or the first push down, depending on whether I'm buying or I'm shorting. But yeah, I like to get everything in that area. Okay. If that makes sense. Oh, okay. So draw on liquidity. So you're talking about fair value gap. Yeah. Once the draw on liquidity is done, once it rebounces that price action. Once it completely rebalances it. Gold 4-hour chart. Here, 1 second. Pull up gold real quick. So gold 4-hour chart. Yeah, so right now, bearish market structure. Okay, bearish market structure. Since we had a really strong displacement on Friday, see that? On Friday at, take a look at your 4-hour candle, 10 o'clock a.m. Friday. See that strong displacement below that level? And then boom, now we're just been consistently tagging these lows. So market structure is bearish, but it's in a discount. And we did just rebalance that bullish price action from Wednesday. So I would expect a retracement here pretty soon, but market structure is bearish at the moment. Okay. And you have an OD low. You see that OD low on the 4-hour from Thursday? I want you to look at Thursday, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock a.m. 6 o'clock a.m. on Thursday the 23rd. See that OD low right there inside of that well, it's not a bearish imbalance yet, but it's likely going to be here pretty soon. That is a level of resistance you want to keep an eye on once price retraces back up into that level. Can I make a video on my daily trading routine? Yeah, sure. I'll add it to the list. All right, y'all. So again, I think Genius and I think a few other members of the chat are going to be in here talking about futures here in a second. So you guys can stick around and chat with them about that. I'm going to enable the voice so you guys can speak and you guys can chat with each other. So yeah, I'm going to hop off here. Y'all have a blessed day and I'll catch y'all later.